Welcome to the Big Blue Breakdown, the Game Balls and Gassers edition, as the New York Giants fell to the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday Night Football 17-7 at MetLife Stadium. The Giants dropped to 2-4 on the season, and my oh my has prime time been a horror show for them. The Giants have now lost 11 of their past 15 appearances on Sunday Night Football. But enough about that. Let's get to some of the key points in the game, good and bad, and then we'll get you our game balls and gassers for each of the three units: offense, defense, and special teams. I'm Paul Dottino. All right, consider this. Cincinnati was in the top 5 in the NFL, scoring 28 points a game. They walked away with 17 last night. Under most circumstances, that's going to be enough to beat them. It wasn't for the Giants, because it just seemed as though they were out of step and disjointed on all but one offensive possession throughout the course of the evening. You know, it's really a shame that the Giants, in spite of everything, had a chance to actually take the lead in this game with 3 minutes to go. That's right, 3 minutes to go. They're down 10-7, 4th and 2 at the Cincinnati 35. Now you've got two options. You could try what's going to amount to be about a 53-yard field goal with a field goal kicker who just got to the team about a week ago, and you're not totally relying on or not totally comfortable with. Or do you go for the 4th down? Giants wound up being, I guess it was 3 of 5 on 4th down conversions throughout the course of the night. They were very aggressive. Brian Dable said after the game they told the team, the staff did, that they were going to be very aggressive, knowing that they were going up against a team with a high-powered attack. So I don't really have much trouble with the Giants passing on the three-pointer there and trying to get the 4th down and going for the lead and potentially the win. Throw over the middle to Darius Slayton, incomplete. DJ Turner played it perfectly and knocked the ball away. So this is not one of those games necessarily that the Giants should have won, like Dallas and Washington, but it was a game they could have won. And I think that's what continues to gnaw at a lot of the players on this team. Missed opportunities that you simply can't get back in a 17-game National Football League season. All right, some of the key numbers that kind of indicate how this game went. Defensively, the Giants held the Bengals to 4 of 11 on 3rd down. Joe Burrow was limited to 19 of 28 passing for 208 yards. He was sacked 4 times. And remember, the Giants did this without Kayvon Thibodeau, who was placed on injured reserve a couple of days ago because of wrist surgery. They limited the Bengals to only 13 first downs in the game. Offensively, Giants were 5 of 15 for 3rd down. Nothing to write home about. 3 of 5 on 4th down. So combined 8 of 20 in 3rd and 4th down situations. Okay. The Giants had 24 first downs to 13 for Cincinnati. Controlled the clock for 34 minutes. You know, in some ways, those are exactly the things that the Giants needed to do. Win the time of possession, control the narrative, and grind out what some people might think would be an ugly victory. But they just didn't do enough of the key things to finish off that plan. There are 2 plays in particular that really kind of sting here, besides that fourth down pass breakup by Turner. If you're the Giants, you have to be feeling absolutely sickened by the Bengals' first touchdown. And it came early in the game on a Joe Burrow scramble of 47 yards, only 3.5 minutes in on the first possession of the night. The Bengals ran a set where all of their offensive players were to the left of the line except one running back who was to the right and wound up going to the left, therefore clearing out the entire right side of the defense, with the exception of wide edge rusher Azeez Ojulari. Now, the ball snapped. It's a pass play. Ojulari takes the wide edge rush off of the edge. He's looking at the pocket to try to get Burrow. The defensive tackle, Elijah Chapman, who was the left defensive tackle on the Giants defense, is charging upfield trying to close the pocket. Well, much like in basketball, when there is a side cleared out and there's going to be an isolation play, Joe Burrow saw this and saw that there was no other defender there once he could get through the line. Ojulari comes around the edge. Chapman is charging the pocket from the front. He splits the two defenders, and there's nobody home. He's off to the races. Isaiah Simmons, as athletic and as fast as he is, tries to make up ground and is chasing Burrow the entire way. Jason Pinnock, the safety, tries to come all the way over from the other side of the field to close in on an angle. They both get there at the pylon. It's too late. Burrow's able to push the football across as he goes out of bounds. 47-yard scramble for Burrow, the longest of his career, and maybe the easiest touchdown he'll ever score. So that made it 7-0 Cincinnati and really took some sting out of the Giants crowd. Huge play. 2:05 left in the game. Giants are in position defensively to try to get one more stop. 1st and 10 at their 37 as Cincinnati has the ball into Giants territory. They're looking for a clinching score. It is a 10-7 Bengals lead. And linebacker Micah McFadden rips the ball out of the hands of running back Chase Brown along the Bengals sideline. The ball takes a couple of hops. There's Jason Pinnock. He dives to land on the ball, and it squirts free and dribbles out of bounds before Cordell Flott, who was hustling on the play, could get over there to corral it. So the ball goes out of bounds. It remains Cincinnati football. And then a couple of plays later, Brown busts a hole up the middle to seal the game by running for what amounted to a 30-yard touchdown. 17-7 Bengals. And the Giants go down to defeat. Two very unique plays. Both wound up on the Bengals side of the ledger. And who knows? Giants down by 3, couple of minutes left. We're not saying the Giants are going to get the tying field goal or the go-ahead touchdown, but huge play. And the football's a funny shape. It just bounced Cincinnati's way. And that really, in my mind, that was the kind of the final nail in the coffin. All right, we will take a very quick timeout and then give you our specific game balls and gassers for the New York Football Giants right after this quick stoppage.
Football is back and it's here to stay until February. And over 1 million fans across 33 states got into the game last year by making picks on Underdog. Win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite players' stats, such as touchdowns, passing yards, and more. The Underdog app is easy to use and making an entry takes seconds. It's safe, secure, and straightforward, and signing up is even easier. Just head on over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with the promo code NYSI, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code NYSI, to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 and over, 19 and over in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 and over in Colorado for some games, 21 and over in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
All right. On offense, Giants game ball goes to rookie running back Tyrone Tracy. 17 out of 50 rushing for 1 touchdown. Caught all 6 targets in the passing game for an additional 57 yards. So added up 101 yards of total offense for Tracy, who ran hard. He ran with quicks, ran with some speed, broke some tackles. I mean, in the first half, he only had 3 carries for 3 yards. But he was really important when the Giants came out for the third quarter. They had a 16-play, 79-yard drive that took 6 minutes and 47 seconds to complete. And Tracy capped it off with a 1-yard touchdown run, going behind Bellinger and Manhurts, his 2 tight ends. John Runyon, the offensive lineman, the left guard, told me after the game he thought it might have been the most impressive drive of the Giants season. On this drive, which had 11 plays running the ball and only 5 plays passing the ball, Tracy touched the ball 9 times for 37 yards. Not only did he score the touchdown to cap the drive, but he also converted 2 fourth downs on the possession. 4th and 2 at the Giants' 40. An option to the right side. The pitch to Tracy. He runs 4 yards to move the chains. 4th and 1 at the Cincinnati 35. Give the ball to Tracy. Left tackle. Plunges for 5 yards and moves the sticks again. And then, as we told you, the touchdown at the end of the possession. So Tyrone Tracy gets our offensive game ball for the Giants in this one. Defensively, we're going to split it. We really think that there's a reason to give co-game balls on defense because both of these guys showed up in a very big way. Linebackers Brian Burns and Azeez Ojulari. Burns had 8 tackles, including 2 tackles for a loss. Ojulari had 4 tackles and 2 sacks. Now, on the first drive of the game, Burns had his only sack of the night. And that really helped galvanize the crowd. They were electric already with the opening and the introductions of the Giants defense. Of course, it wasn't to last very long because only a few plays after Burns' sack, Burrow wound up escaping for the 47-yard scramble that went for the touchdown. But we give Burns credit for coming out like a house of fire to get a sack on the first drive. And then, how about this? Fourth quarter, 3 minutes left. Giants are desperate to get the ball back, down 10-7. Cincinnati has it 1st and 10 at their own 36. And he stuffs, and I mean stuffs, the running back, Brown, Chase Brown, for a 2-yard loss. Next play, stuffs Brown for no gain. 2 huge defensive plays back-to-back, trying to stymie the Cincinnati offense and get the ball back to the Giants. Ultimately, the Bengals would wind up converting on the first down. But that doesn't take anything away from what Burns did on the first 2 plays, coming up with huge tackles that, at least at the moment, had stoned Cincinnati and given the Giants some hope. They wound up, as I recall, giving up a long 3rd down pass. And we'll just take a glance at it here. To Yoshibus on 3rd and 12 from their own 34. 29 yards on a Burrow rollout to the left sideline as Yoshibus caught the ball and created a first down at the Giants' 37. On the next play, Micah McFadden ripped the ball out and caused a fumble, which we talked about a few minutes ago. So the Giants' defense made 3 plays on that drive, but the 2 plays they didn't make cost them. The 29-yarder on the pass to Yoshivas, and then the 5th play of the drive was the 30-yard touchdown run up the middle by Brown. So 3 terrific defensive plays on the series, 2 great plays by Cincinnati, and their 2 plays were more impactful. Again, that's why they won the game. All right, also want to talk about Azeez Ojulari. So Thibodeau has the wrist surgery, so Ojulari is going to have to be a primary edge rusher now over the course of the next 3 games as well. Second quarter, 2 minutes left in the game. Bengals have the ball. They're up 7-0. 1st and 10 from their own 45. Now that's incredible field position for Joe Burrow. It's good field position for any team. But for Joe Burrow, that's like taking candy from a baby. He doesn't have to go far to score points, even if it's only a field goal. Ojulari on first down. Sack. 1 play later, 2 plays later, it's now 3rd and 4 at the Giants' 49. They are inching their way to field goal range. Ojulari, sack. 2 sacks in the final 2 minutes of the first half prevented the Bengals from scoring and allowed the Giants to go into the locker room down only 7-0, knowing they'd get the second half kickoff. Very significant. Ojulari tried to create a turning point of the game to give the Giants a chance. They came out in the 3rd quarter, had a 3-and-out, and had a punt. They didn't do anything with it. Special teams game ball goes to Nick McLeod. At the beginning of this drive that we just talked about for Cincinnati, 4th and 7 at the Giants' 12. Matt Hawk, their new punter who just came in a couple of days ago. Remember, Jamie Gillen, their punter, got hurt, hamstring during the week. So Matt Hawk, the former Buffalo Bill, wound up getting signed. Hits a 42-yarder. Charlie Jones thinks he's going to do something on the return, but there's Nick McLeod in coverage. Nails it for a 1-yard loss to the 45-yard line. And so the Giants special teams came up with a big play there not to give up any return yardage. Turns out to be a net of 43. And that's critical because last thing in the world you want is Cincinnati to start that drive in your territory instead of theirs. Again, nice play by one of the Giants' best special teamers, Nick McLeod. All right, we go to our gassers. And on offense, we're going to give it to quarterback Daniel Jones. 22 of 41 for 205 yards. Ran 11 times for 56 yards. But he threw such an ill-advised interception. Giants are down 7-0, 4 minutes left in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the Cincinnati 14. Giants had driven downfield after taking the ball over at their own 33. And they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 snaps. And on the 9th snap, Jones goes back to throw. He's getting pressured. And B.J. Hill, former Giants defensive tackle, is coming right at him. And Jones does the one thing that a veteran quarterback should not do. He tried to get rid of the ball. Easily could have taken the sack, lived for another day. You're already deep into field goal range. It's only a first down, so 2nd and long, big deal. You could still get up, wipe yourself off, and continue the drive. Instead, Jones tries to throw the ball deep down the middle of the field out of bounds, basically like a touchback, tries to throw the ball through the end zone. Hill smacks his arm just as he's following through with his toss, and it harmlessly looks like it's going to fall to the ground, except I shouldn't say harmlessly, harmfully. Germaine Pratt, Bengals linebacker, is just sitting there waiting for the easiest interception that he could ever imagine. That cost the Giants a scoring opportunity, which obviously would haunt them throughout the rest of the game. So we're going to give the offensive gasser to Daniel Jones. On special teams, well, we got to go to Greg Joseph, the kicker. The fourth quarter, final stages of the game, he misses 2 field goals. 4th and 5 at the Cincinnati 28 with 10.5 minutes left. 10-7 Cincinnati lead. 47 yards wide left. A very makeable field goal that could tie the game. It's now 17-7. Giants have only 51 seconds to play. And they decide to try a 45-yarder, which again is very makeable in the NFL. Thinking if they get the 3, now they're going to go for the desperate onside kick and then worry about the touchdown if they can get the ball back. Smart play by Coach Brian Dable. Except Joseph goes in and goes wide left again for the second straight time from under 50 yards. So Greg Joseph, the kicker, gets the gasser here. Now, the defensive gasser is very, very difficult because the Giants had done so well during the course of this game. We talked about the Burrow play. We talked about the McFadden strip. Couldn't get the ball. Last week, a viewer actually admonished me and said, you know what? If you really don't think there's a gasser to give out, don't do it. So for the first time, and I've been doing game balls and gassers going back about 20 years when I was covering the Giants for ESPN Radio in New York. For the first time ever, I'm going to back off and I'm going to listen to a viewer and not give a a defensive gasser in this game. It's against my better judgment, but I'm going to show that I'm pliable and I'm willing to take a suggestion. But it'll be the last time, I do believe, that I will not give out a gasser to one of the Giants units. So that'll do it for this edition of the Big Blue Breakdown Game Balls and Gassers. Again, the Cincinnati Bengals knocking off the New York Giants 17-7. Remember, we're going to be back with another live edition of the Big Blue Breakdown. Now, because of the baseball playoffs and because of some various scheduling conflicts this week, we're going to have a preview edition, a live preview edition, taking your phone calls, your chats, and your video calls as the Giants prepare to play the Philadelphia Eagles next Sunday at MetLife Stadium. And that show is going to be moved to Thursday night. Thursday night this week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Not on Wednesday like we usually do, but on Thursday night at 7:30. I'm Paul Dottino, and we hope to see you then here on the Big Blue Breakdown.